thought we'd take the opportunity to have a really focused dialogue around the future rollout of 5G that captures the voice of the public as well as the private sector. And to do just that, if I could please have the assistant editor of the Economic Times, Devina Sengupta, join us on stage to lead us into this conversation alongside Secretary Madam Aruna Sundararajan and Ericsson's Marie Hogan. Huge round of applause for these ladies, please. Devina, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. And ma'am, the first question would be for you. We are in one of the most interesting periods in the telecom sector, ma'am. 4G is still getting rolled out. What we want to know is, are we ready in India to usher in 5G now?
As you know, I think most of the key telecom operators are already in early trials with many of the global OEMs, leading with Ericsson, but also the others. They have already started working in India. And as I said, that this is going to be an imperative for the telecom industry also going forward. Because I think that, last year we passed an inflection point in India. Earlier it was largely voice-based. And I think last year we saw a sudden, massive increase in the use of data. And in digital India, we also started seeing that large sectors of the economy have started becoming digitized. And therefore, given that digitization is one of the growth strategies for India, companies will have to look at 5G if they want to grow this market. You know that today we're talking about voice and data for, let's say, 1 billion citizens. But the big opportunities for monetization will really come in once you have IoT, machine to machine. So 5G is imperative for B2B, digital communications. 5G is imperative for the growth of IoT. And since we have big ambitions to lead in these areas, I think that all the domains that want to use these technologies will actually be the catalysts for the telecom companies to roll out 5G.
Ma'am, there's one concern is the last 2 years have been quite turbulent for the sector. Is there enough financial capability right now to not just invest in the spectrum, but also in the infrastructure and the network capacity to build in 5G ecosystem?
See, this is the paradox. You've already heard the telecom companies say that, while they bemoan the erosion in tariffs, they're also scrambling to invest in the network, because if you want to survive today, you will have to upgrade your networks. And so, in fact, over the last year, we have seen stepped up capex as people are moving to upgrade their networks to face the competition. So I think competition will drive them to make sure that they invest.
Marie, a question for you. Right now, at this cusp, what is the kind of opportunities that your company sees in India, which is about to roll out 5G? And if you could give us some use cases, India specific, please.
Okay, good question. So I think Ericsson as network infrastructure providers, we have two roles. We must ensure that we build equipment that takes advantage of all that the 5G technology has to offer. So, we've been working on the standardization and building our products and commercialization there. And then we need to work very closely with the local region, and in this case, India, to tailor the use cases so that they can be applicable to India. As I think you mentioned, the use cases that maybe are more prevalent for US or Europe are not necessarily the ones that are as relevant for India. So, we see lots of opportunities in sort of automotive intelligent transport systems. You have a lot of traffic here, I've noticed. And then health and safety, I think, is maybe something that's of huge interest. Early warning systems, and then also infrastructure for utilities and energy, starting to build today on massive IoT, and then encompassing the entire network, you know, for pooling of resources and things like that. But we hope to work further together to make sure we pick the most applicable ones, of course.
And ma'am, one final question for you. What are the challenges that you see? It could be policy related or any other kind of challenges that you foresee when it comes to rolling out of 5G in India today?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge, as I mentioned, is that we will have to probably evolve a roadmap that makes sense to us. You know, it cannot be that the global use cases can be replicated here, and you know, we expect that those are going to drive monetization here. I don't think so. I think we will therefore have to look much more closely at what makes business sense, but also, you know, let's say, economic and social sense for the country as a whole. So I think that would be a key challenge.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, Marie. Thank you for this.